What is up, YouTube? Today I am cooking low and slow shoulder of mutton on the new toy, the Kamado egg ceramic barbecue. I'll be using Big K lumpwood charcoal for the fuel. So whilst that gets to temp, we're going to make a wet rub for the shoulder. So for the wet rub, I've got some salted butter, which I've blended with some anchovies. Just put some oregano and rosemary from the garden, which I'm going to pick the leaves off and blend them up in here. So I'll pack that in there, hopefully it'll blend. Let's see. Shut the door. And need some adjustments there, I think. It's probably good. Would have been better to do it in a food processor, which I'll remember for next time. Let's try that again. Yeah, it's not doing much. I'm going to have to pause this and fix the problem. Right, that's blended a bit better. So I've added some cracked black pepper. And then we add the zest of a unwaxed lemon. I use the Italian ones from Lidl. Nice and big, produce quite a good yield of zest. So after half an hour, I'm just going to check the temp. It's just a nudge over 120, as you can see. So I'm going to leave this for another 10 minutes. Just to see and check that it's not overshot the mark by too much. So whilst the Kamado's coming up to temperature, I've just chopped up a couple of onions, a couple of bulbs of garlic, which I've put into the bottom of the pan. Now I'm going to rub the shoulder of mutton with the paste and sit it on top, and then top it up with red wine just until it touches the bottom of the lamb. So the lamb's been out of the fridge and brought to room temperature for the past hour. Now I'm going to pat it dry and then apply the rub. So with the rub now on, it's time to get the meat across probing. So I'm going to find the thickest part of the meat and insert that to just past the notch, as per their instructions, and I'm going to set up to cook. Well, if they've got mutton on the app, I'll pick that. If not, I'll have to use lamb. So I've got my probe in. I'll put it in sideways there into the thickest part of the meat. Well, possibly. We'll see how we go. I'm going to now cover this with foil and see what temperature the Aldi Kamado is. See if it's ready. Nearly missed a step though. I need to add some red wine. Just gone for a $3.99 bottle of Merlot, because it doesn't really matter when you're cooking what kind of quality of red wine you use, in my opinion. So red wine in, so it's just below the bottom of the lamb there. So I've put 2 sheets of foil on the floor and then overlaid one about halfway, hence the seam. Seal it up, and I'm just crimping the edges to try and create the seal, like so. I've never done this before, so I'm hoping it's going to work. Again, we'll see. So I've come back to Kamado and we're actually looking 135 degrees on the dome, which is a little higher than I was hoping for. So I've closed the bottom vent even more, and I'm going to leave it 5 minutes to see if that brings the temperature down. Right then, going to make some Mediterranean potatoes. So back with the fresh oregano, which is doing really well this year. Just picking the leaves off the stems there, chucking them in there. Good glug of olive oil, swirl, couple of turns of salt and pepper. Then I'm going to put these on bake. Oh, apologies. Also lemon juice. I'm going to put a whole lemon worth of juice in there as well. I'm going to put that on 180 for an hour. Right, so the meat's finished. I've took it off. Sift the liquor, and I'm going to reduce this down on a medium heat to thicken it up. I'm going to use some bread if I can to skim off any fat that comes to the surface. I'm going to try and make a gravy using this, but past experiences I've never done too well at this aspect, but I'll give it a go. Worst case, I've got some mint sauce to deploy in the wings. Forgot to mention, this is how she looked when she came off. The bark was relatively still wet, and I think in future I will crank up the heat and leave that to bark up as it were. As you can see, that is so clean. I probed it before using a thermometer and it went through like butter, so I'm going to leave this to rest for half an hour whilst my spuds are cooking. Let's just have a look. Yeah, so that's them at the minute. I'm going to give that a stir around in just a mo, and yeah, things are looking good. Got some stem broccoli to put in as well, and I'll let you know how the mutton fares. So let's check on the taties. I actually put another lemon in, so there's 2 lemons in here. Look at the colour of them, looking good. There's 1/4 of an hour left. Meat's been out resting, that'll have been out half an hour by the time these are finished. I have the liquor simmering down there, like I say, trying to see if we can get a gravy out of that. You never know. And I've got some stem broccoli, like I say, to accompany the taties and the mutton. Let's see if my girl likes it. She's 4-year-old. She loves lamb. I've never had mutton before, so it's a first for me. So hopefully it'll become a family favourite, because it's really cheap. It is mutton. So let's see. I'm just giving the gravy a try. I know it's not reduced down fully, but it feels so fatty, and I don't really have time to attempt to cool it down and skim off any fat. So I'm going to leave it for the meal, but I will maybe persevere with the gravy later just to see if it can be done. But time wise, I don't think it's possible. I've got some mint sauce, like I say, and I'll deploy that. So yeah. So decided to decant a little bit into this little Le Creuset frying pan and see if I can reduce that down to any type of gravy. You never know. Well, we're still reducing. The spuds aren't ready yet. Give them a try. They're probably an hour to an hour and 15 in total. I tried a little section and it was very lemony, so I'm not sure if 2 lemons was the right answer. So I had another glug of olive oil and we'll see. if that balances it out. Mental note, don't use a baby spoon to stir the gravy. Look at the state of that. Good job we've got spares. Wowza. Right, okay, so that totally messed up. Alright, and this is the gravy. This is what happens when you've got kids. You take it out of the bowl, you go give them a shower because we've been playing outside all day and they've gotten a bit messy. I don't think it would have worked anyway. But yeah, hopefully this pan will clean up. Meanwhile, let's check in on the spuds. They're looking pretty darn good. I'm going to decant them in a moment and get the stem broccoli on. Here we go. So we've got stem broccoli, Mediterranean potatoes and mutton slow cooked. Bon appetit. So, I think mutton's really gamey. I think if you love the taste of lamb, it's a bit different to mutton by quite some distance, and yeah, I think you'd be a little, not perplexed, but just be prepared. Super gamey, really tasty, offset with the spuds and the stem broccoli and some mint sauce, cheeky bit of Coleman mint sauce, and yeah, tasty dish. Would I make it again? Not in a rush, but for £6 for a kilo, serves free, not bad, is it? £2 a man for meat, and with it being on the AK Aldi Kamado, so we're not AK, barely used any fuel, so good value overall. Peace.